Hi Derry, it's the 18th of October 2025. This is an unboxing and chat and review of the Yottamaster M.2 clone duplicator. Now, if you've been following along, I previously had tried to use an SSK clone duplicator to be able to clone one M.2 drive like this to another. And the SSK product did not work with large drives, so it worked with 1 and 2 terabyte drives but nothing larger. So we've done my research on Mr. Amazon. This is coming in at about 50 GB. So first impressions are that is very small, nicely solid. Oh, lots of accessories. So we've got some pads, thermal pads onto drives. We've got a few cables, USB-A to C. It's USB-C to C. Some rubber components which I'm guessing will be to put the drives into the caddy. A power adapter with a set of ends that allow you to specify, in our case, the UK, and a screwdriver. Insert the source and target drives, connect power adapter, press the power button to turn on the product, long press the clone button for 5 seconds until the indicators start flashing. The 4 indicators will show the progress of the cloning, 25, 50, 75 and 100%. Okay, we're going to assemble all the bits and bobs. Just a power adapter. Oh, okay, that was very quick. Slipped off very nicely. Oh, so this appears to be very simple. Now, this is a cloner, so you wouldn't really want to keep the drives in for very long, but it's made out of metal, which is very encouraging. We're just going to get a drive out and stick it in, see how that goes. Okay, so I'm guessing these little rubber grommet-y things, please come out. They have come out. So we put this super expensive drive, which I'm slightly nervous about handling. I am handling it into here. So that is the source here. So apart from being a cloning station, this could double as a rather slow, well I say slow, 10 gigabits per second. That's over 1 gigabyte per second drive reader. I've got a high hope, so this could be kind of like a backup disk reader. And how am I doing for no? I'm sure that's how it's supposed to go, but see, when you get old, these things just don't seem to work quite right. That's just... Oh, there we go. So there is an example of a fitted OneDrive system. I'm going to just lose that screw. I'm going to put this together and just see if I can use it for some disk reading and writing. We're back shortly. Okay, so we've started the Apple Disk Utility in advance. I'm now going to plug in the Yottamaster cloner. Pressed on the power button and just on the power button before the little blue light came on, and as if by magic. Right, so the Apple system has recognised the fact there's a new drive. We're going to initialise that drive. It's a terrible demonstration. it's showing up as this drive here, ASMD USB 3.1 to NVMe. It does see it as an 8 terabyte drive. We're going to do erase, and we're going to call it staging, and we're going to give it the Apple file system that's very badly documented. That's Apple. And say go. I'm not doing anything stupid. No. And the reason I've called it staging is that I've got a set of very short backup utility, and the backup utility will back up stuff to a mounted volume called staging. So if I do a df and grep for staging, I've got to spell it correctly, you'll see there's a volume called staging that's mounted. We do a grep minus grep minus human. Just kind of curious. I can't remember what the options for grep are. No, alright then. Oh no, it's df minus human, isn't df minus human. So it's double aside. No, we're not getting anywhere. Complete and utter aside. Minus h, okay. Df minus h. Get there slowly but surely. Minus case insensitive staging. Yes, so you can see we have a 7.5 terabyte, or terabyte I would call it, as it was in the old days, drive. So if I go to cd bin, and this one's, okay, we've got a save to staging. So if I run save to staging, so we're doing a backup now. I need to first of all populate this 8 terabyte drive. The overall plan is to populate the 8 terabyte drive. We're going to put the second, when it's finished, we'll check that that drive has been copied correctly. And the second thing we're going to do is we'll put the target 8 terabyte drive in, we'll do a clone, we'll see how long the clone takes, and then we're going to check that the clone has been made successfully. And that's a pretty decent way of doing things. Right, leave it going, back later. Okay, so we've got to the point where we have in fact completely filled up this new M.2 drive in the cloner station using the rsync program. It took a couple of hours. I just deleted a few files because I hear it's not a great idea to keep M.2 drives completely full. So the whole of the 8 terabyte drive is copied. It took a few hours, and the speed was about 500 megabytes per second using this little cloner drive. Again, it's a 40-50 pound kind of device, which is pretty impressive, I would say. Now, what we're going to do now is, first of all, we're going to check that drive. So if I bring it over the Apple disk utility, and we're going to run first aid on the drive. As you can see, it's an 8 terabyte drive. We're going to run first aid. We're going to run it. Now, APFS is kind of famous for not being very well documented, but this would be the sort of Windows equivalent of check disk, if you like. So I think the thing that I would look at would be the fact that the volume, the UUID of the volume is ending in Delta 26, D26. So when I run the clone, I kind of would expect that that volume ID would be the same, because it's going to make an exact copy of the drive. Okay, that's it so far. Let's do a clone. Okay, so at the point where we're going to insert the second drive, which we're going to be cloning onto. So I have done a screw to keep this unit together. Right, so that's disk number 1. It's actually labelled source and target. And so, I suspect that the thing that's going to ask you to cause you to buy a new one of these is you're going to lose one of these rubber grommets. They seem to be eminently losable. Okay, that goes in there. As before, it's a bit on the fiddly side, but it's the first time I'm doing it really, or the second time, so it's sure with practice it will get easier. That needs to go on. Lovely. So the screw's fallen out. So all we need to do is to put in the power. I'll put this case back on, shall I? Yeah, I think so. So the rsync took a few hours, several hours, but potentially, depending how fast this copies, it should take substantially less time. So we're starting at 10:14, thereabouts. We're plugging it in. We are putting on power. And then they said 5 seconds. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. And you see those flashing lights? Okay, so we have a good result. It's only day 1 of my testing, but I thought I'd report it. So anyway, what we've done is we've managed to copy the entire 8TB drive onto a new 8TB drive using this cloner product. I'm now going to do a first aid check of the unmounted volume, and let's see what happens. Da da da. And the APFS file system check appears to be good, and you'll notice the UUID D26 is the same as before. So I would say that all is well. Let's click on done. Let's get disk utility out of the way. Let's power off the disk. Alexa, turn on face. So to show you, that's the system with the target drive only installed. And I'm going to give the Yottamaster disk cloning £50 from Amazon, disk cloner and unofficial SSD or M.2 dock a big thumbs up. It's been able to copy the largest capacity M.2 drive that I have, which is 8 terabytes without a problem. To remind you all, it's got a capacity of 2 slots. It's got a power on button here, you put the 2 drives in, and then you switch it on, and then you hold this button down for 5 seconds. So I look like an old man. Let me just take that off, shall I? And you hold that down, and then these LEDs go from 25%, 50%, 75%, 100%, and then your disk is cloned. It makes an exact copy. In other words, it keeps exactly the same information, including the UUID, and you'll have a perfect copy of the drive. It took less than 2 hours to copy an 8 terabyte drive. So you can scale things down accordingly. So that's 2 hours or less than for an 8 terabyte drive. So that's it. Very well recommended. And if you're in the business of manipulating M.2 drives, you want to make an exact backup of the drive you use frequently, why not get one of these? I think it's an excellent investment. Thanks for watching.